Welcome. So in this lesson, I'm going to be introducing rates and discussing what rates are. The first question I want to ask ourselves is, what is the difference between ratio and rates? So let's talk about that. So up to this point, we have been looking at ratios, and we know that a ratio shows the relationship between the same type of quantities with the same units. So, for example, the ratio of boys to girls in a school is 4 to 5. We know that this 4 and this 5 represent the same type of quantities. They're both students. Even though one is boys and one is girls, they're both the same type of quantity. So too, the ratio of apples to oranges is 2 to 3. They're the same type of quantities. They're both fruit. So that's really important. A ratio is a relationship between the same type of quantities with the same units. In comparison is rates. A rate shows the relationship between two different types of quantities with different units. So let's look at some examples here. Cost per hour. So for example, if you got paid $45 for 3 hours of work, well, as you can see, on one side we have money, well, on the other side we have time. These are different types of quantities with different units, money and time. So too, the speed of a car, 50 kilometers per 2 hours. You've got distance on one side, kilometers, and you have time on the other, hours. So a rate is the relationship between two different types of quantities with different units. And that's the distinguishing thing between rates and ratios. So let's now have a more of a detailed discussion about rates again. And we're going to talk about simplifying rates. What does that involve? Well, it is convention to write rates in their simplest form. This involves writing the rate for only one unit of the second quantity. So what is that saying? When we're simplifying rates, we want to show the second quantity in simply one unit. So in this example, $45 for 3 hours, if we're going to simplify this, we want this second quantity to be 1 unit. So that means we want it to be 1 hour. So if I'm going 3 hours to 1 hour, what am I doing? I'm dividing by 3. Whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other side. 45 divided by 3 is going to be $15 per hour. Now, another distinguishing thing about how rates are written is we put a slash in. So this is $15 per hour. That's how you would say it, $15 per hour. So we put that slash in there. Let's simplify this one. We have 50 kilometers per 2 hours. Again, when we're simplifying rates, we want the second quantity to be 1 unit. So that means instead of 2 hours, we want it to be 1 hour. So 2 to 1, I'm obviously dividing by 2. I do the same thing to the other side. 50 divided by 2 is going to be 25 kilometers per 1 hour. And the way that I would write this is like this, 25 kilometers slash hour. So that means for every hour I travel, I'm going 25 kilometers. These are simplified rates. And you're probably thinking these right here, these simplified rates are far more useful than these ones, these unsimplified ones. Because if you wanted to compare with a friend how much you're getting paid, you could say, I get paid $15 an hour. And they would say, I'm getting paid $16 an hour. As opposed to saying, I get paid $45 for every 3 hours work. It just isn't a practical way to measure how much you're earning. And the same thing with the speed of a car too. It's just not practical to do anything but for 1 hour. 25 kilometers an hour. For every hour, I move 25 kilometers. So that's rates. So hopefully you've got a bit of an idea of what they are. In the second part of this video, we'll go through some handwriting questions that you'll have to do in the exercise. I'll see you then.